The stereophonic recording that you are listening to this evening has been entirely dedicated to the most wonderful year of the most wonderful decade that ever was, 1987.
Nice. So, I know a little bit about your background and everything else. I want to take you guys back to like Halloween last year. You were playing in two bands, Flash Harris and Mr. Unit at Lovelands, Halloween. So what's happening in the Mr. Unit world at that stage in October last year?
We're in the middle of recording back then. We were in the middle of recording. We were in the thick of mixdown for recordings.
Yeah. Oh, right, mixdown, right. So everything had been recorded?
All the tracking had been done, apart from a couple of little overduns and, little fix-ups for things that you went back and listened to and went,
Yeah. So the album in question is this one that you're releasing tonight.
There's always someone with a bigger Schtick.
And it's a thematic record? There's a theme behind it, there's a connecting...
The theme is, it's essentially remembering back to when we were young lads, about 21, in 1987. So the whole concept of the album is the songs reflect the types of music that we were listening to back in about 87 leading up to about 1990.
This probably leads on to my question of what would be your dream opening band, as in you opening for a band? Living or dead?
For a band. Oh,
debanded or not? Present or current?
Ever and any time.
If you had to pick one each,
If I had to pick one band I would have liked to have opened for and to be there to see the concert, the Ramones at the Apollo, London.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, and?
The Stooges.
Nice, okay, right, cool. So I usually ask bands if there was a member of another band, living or dead, in the same way that could replace one of you if one of you got COVID.
That's a pretty leading question at the moment, considering we've just recently lost a bass player. So,
So you've got, look, what do you want to talk about that? So, like, Gaz with them, like October last year, when you guys were performing at Lovelands.
Well, we certainly weren't expecting to be ending the year without Gaz.
No. Right.
That's for sure. So that's come as a shock.
Yeah. Unexpected. Yeah.
But Gaz was a typical showman to the last, and then he decided to,
try and overtake Christmas.
A week or so before Christmas, he wasn't going to be upstaged by a bloody religious holiday. He was going to be the man. So, At least he went out like he lived.
Yeah, the way Gaz would have liked. Yeah.
So it's a hard question to answer that one, because it's like we're in the thick of that.
You're in the thick of that now.
Yeah. So next question, please.
Right. Have you guys got a band that you'd like to open for that is currently going now?
The Drive-By Truckers, if they ever came to Wellington again, I'd open for them. Who else?
Personally, I'd go to the opening of an envelope for them.
Yeah, so don't ask him. He'll just tell you something silly.
You'd be in for it, yeah.
I'm going to stick with the Drive-By Truckers. I'd like to open for the Drive-By Truckers.
Nice one. Okay, cool.
She could call them an Americana band, but they, in their earlier days, they did a lot of mixing of Americana, Southern, and punk rock.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Chick kicking country.
Yeah.
But not really country, more southern than country, but brought in country as they moved on. A punk rock swagger to what they do.
Right.
And also,
but an Americana sort of element
in an Americana
well?
way, but also very leftist as well, which is something that's kind of more punk. Counting the Ramones.
Yeah. Ever since the Clash, I feel like that's kind of like the way that punk leans.
Mostly,
mostly. I mean, I was just thinking of Ramones. Johnny Ramone was a hardcore conservative.
He was a hardcore conservative. I saw a photo of him the other day in a army uniform.
Yeah. But that's weird, is that they all got into that army sort of like paraphernalia, but within the Ramones it was like massive range of political.
Oh no, Johnny Ramone was in the army.
So album's coming out today. Oh no, sorry, it's already out yesterday.
Dropped this morning. Yeah.
Nice one. And you've got 2 potential singles. Is that correct, or are you going to push those? What's going to happen with those? The most commercial songs.
Yeah, everything kind of got derailed when Gaz died. So we had all these plans of things we were going to do and world domination and everything. And so Gaz died. We had Christmas, and maybe it wasn't a great time of year to launch an album, but we wanted it out.
Yeah,
when is the right time?
When is the right time? There's no you can't.
When it's done.
Yeah.
When you're only tweaking because you're tweaking.
Who would you recommend the album for listeners of, like, people that are like interested in classic rock, people that are interested in modern rock, punk rock?
Well, it's a short album. There's only 6 tracks on it, but like I said, there's 6 tracks that are plucked from various genres. I mean, it's the overall mushroom cloud of rock there, but it's kind of different. There's stuff that sound like rock. A little bit Susie and the Banshees at times.
A bit of Aerosmith in there.
A little bit,
definitely
Aerosmith in there.
A bit of the Angels, you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Was it Melbourne band, the Saints?
I do remember the Saints.
Yeah, there was a couple of like hoorah sort of like
they wrote
choruses that you guys have got.
I'm stranded on my own.
Yeah.
The aforementioned Drive-By Truckers, I put it on the album. There's so many different things that Curtis.
Bit of Shockabilly.
What's that? Yeah. God, I couldn't even start. This is the problem. I don't want to name influences in that way, because you're asking me to focus and hone in on another band that we kind of sound like. But we don't kind of sound like any other band. We sound like we're in our 50s and we've been listening to music for a long time and playing music for a long time, and there's all our influences in all our previous bands. You know, we have previous bands that are covers bands. We have previous bands that are absolutely filthy hardcore punk rock bands.
Hardcore.
We have pop influences, all sorts of things. So I don't want to tie us down. We're a rock band.
Rock metal influences. We can't leave out the metal.
We can't leave that.
Metal topping.
Yeah, just a little sprinkle of metal.
I think when you guys get really
towards metal sometimes, but really sticking very firmly in
kind of in the same way that Thin Lizzy edges towards metal.
Yeah. I mean,
which is not really very fucking much at all.
I can't remember the one I was listening to today, because I've got your album, and I heard sort of like punk in the verses, you know, like sort of like just like throbbing sort of bass, just like keeping the beat. Classic rock sort of like chorus, but by the time Curtis is doing his heavy solo, it's into metal territory almost. Like he's shredding, you know, at times. Not the whole way through the solo, but you know.
And that's because you've got 5 guys who all have an input into the band.
Right,
That's one of the things that makes this band, because we're all friends. We've been friends for a very long time.
Right.
And you know, so we know how to play with each other. We know what each other's strengths are. We know what we can do to write music that allows everyone to express themselves in their own way.
We've got a saying: no riff survives band practice.
So you can come to the band with a song, right? And you can say, hey, here's my song. This is what I wrote. And you'll walk out of band practice and that song will not be the same song anymore.
Right. It just goes on an adventure when it gets
replayed. It gets dragged backwards through the fence and comes out something totally different.
But that's beautiful, eh? Like when you've got like 5 different people that have got massive different ranges of music. And there's overlaps for sure, but it's kind of cool that there's some bands that you guys disagree on a little bit, or bands that you don't have in common.
Are there any bands we disagree on?
I don't think there's bands we disagree on.
Maybe there's some bands we disagree with, but there's no bands we disagree on.
General joy of what we do, you know. So we're not really doing it for anyone else except us.
We're old enough now that it doesn't matter. We're just here for the fun.
It's quite liberating, right?
It is. It's liberating.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm super excited about tonight and listening to the album. which I haven't. I've listened. I still haven't listened to everything yet, but I'm going to. So looking forward to tonight. And what's the next up for you? I mean, like you guys are obviously getting a new bassist in the near future after tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be. There's a couple of people we're going to be looking at fairly soon.
Nice.
We've got a very good stand-up for tonight, who's Flex, who. What was he? He was the original bass player.
He was the original bass player of Vaz Difference, which was the band that Mr. Unit sprung from.
Ah, right, okay. And did he have some relation to Headless Chickens? Or?
Yeah, he played in Headless Chickens.
Yeah,
so,
he did Vaz Difference, yeah.
He went from Vaz Difference to
And
Headless
Spillkit?
Chickens, and Spillkit's a band that he's also playing in at the moment.
Right, I've seen Spillkit.
Yeah, he's a singer and guitarist in Spillkit.
Right.
So, yeah, great band.
Nice. Yeah, they were. I've seen the Cutlers and somewhere else like
You'd
Sam
like
Ryder?
you'd like Simon's guitar. He does
Yeah.
good guitar.
It was good stuff. But he's on bass tonight, which is
He's on bass tonight.
Right, yeah.
So he was the original bass player of Vaz Difference, and he left and Gas replaced him in Vaz Difference.
Right.
So
And
there's
then
a
that
kind of a
turned into-
circle of life thing going on.
That's good. And so that band turned into Mr. Unit?
Vaz Difference, yes.
Right. Why did it change names? Was it just a better name?
Next question.
Vaz Difference disintegrated live on stage in a spectacular rock and roll fashion.
Yeah. So next question.
Out of the ashes, there was a phone call between me and Simon about having a jam, and
We should do something now. You're a free agent.
Right.
so the surviving members of Vaz Difference came along and was
I saw in an interview you guys did on a UK podcast that you would, I think it was like a post on it actually, and you were discussing how like the name Mr. Unit was to do with the single unit of a citizen.
Yeah.
it's basically
The cog in the machine. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
too deeply into that. I mean, the name of the album is completely different to the name of the band. The name
Yeah.
of the band isn't like,
But it's got your
The
humour in
album,
it,
as
a little
far
bit.
as concept is concerned, it's merely about that time, 87 through to 90, where we were all young men having a good time and being roustabouts.
Yeah.
Before life got too serious.
Yeah, and before
Yeah.
rent got too expensive, so you could
Yeah,
spend all your
right.
money on beer.
Well, it sounds fucking fantastic, and you guys rock. So I'm really looking forward to tonight.
So we.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Ask you questions